So what is a Cupra really like to own? Yes then guys, what you're all saying, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. So as you probably know, I've had this lovely Cupra for about a year, just over now. So I've obviously well and truly got to know this car, what's good, what's maybe not so good, what cool features there are, stuff like that. So I'm here just to show you and do like a little video of what it's like to own a Cupra. So as you probably already seen or heard in the video, it doesn't have a very satisfying unlock or lock noise. It's quite clunky and annoying. See what I mean? But at least you know it's unlocked, I suppose. Now to start with, well, how do we know it's a Cupra? Like, what is a Cupra? How do we know what a Cupra is? So just a couple things you should know. So in the Cupra range, like mine is, so this car is what is known as a Seat Leon Cupra 290. That is the full name. Bit long-winded, yes, I know. So Seat Leon, obviously, thanks to that car. It's because I didn't open the door. Yeah, so Seat Leon obviously make a whole range of, like, you know, Seat make a whole bunch of cars. The Leon is like one of their hatchbacks, and they do all sorts, like base models, FRs are slightly sportier, and then they teamed up with their sporty design house Cupra to make this sporty fast hatchback kind of deal. So what is the 290? That represents how much brake it has, so 280, 290, 300, and then there's what's known as an R, which is the top of the range one. Within those categories there are also other things like Lux and different sort of spec models, but I don't think mine comes under any of them. So ways of telling this is a genuine Cupra. Well, the obvious, it actually says Cupra at the back. Not you can barely see it because it's done in black. All of them come with copper badges as standard. I don't know if you could spec it without it, but the 280s I believe don't have this. It's only 290s, 300s and the Rs that have the copper badges. And there is even Cupra on your brake calipers. Then there is Cupra own racing checkered flag. Now the Cupra Rs come with the copper bits here as standard. Mine doesn't, but I love the look of them, hence why I added it. As we open the door, on the floor we have the light up Cupra sign. Now this kick plate is on both front sides, it's not on the rear unfortunately. And then we also have the Cupra stitched into the seats. And then finally on the center screen, as we turn it on and it all lights up, it will eventually come up with Cupra. There you go. And then again we have the Cupra race flag in here. It does usually come in this colour, the flag again, but that's just a sticker. They don't actually come with those. Someone else has put that on afterwards. And then it says Cupra in the engine bay. So if you didn't know it was a Cupra, you do now. So what features actually come with this car? What do I get in this car from standard, from new? Obviously it all depends on how you would have spec'd the cars. They're all going to be slightly different, but I'll show you what my particular one is spec'd with. So one of maybe my favorite interiors to spec these with, so you have the Alcantara with the leather which looks like carbon, and that is also on the door cards. Another feature, as you can see while we're at it, is the door lights, which you can actually change in the sub menus what color it is. I mean, I went with orange to go with the sort of coppery theme that I've got going on. Obviously, a car of this age does come with electric mirrors. It also has electric heating and fold in, because they don't actually fold in when you lock or unlock it. Oh, hello. So you have to do it by hand, and like, so if you was to lock your car, they don't automatically turn in, so you have to do it before you get out the car. Maybe that might be annoying, but for me, I've never had a problem with it. Continuing with the interior, we have a nice leather steering wheel, good sort of chunky size, with this sort of racy flat bottom, which I really love. They then come with, obviously this being the DSG, has the little flappy paddles, and so you can see there's the original. These are paddle extensions, so this is what has one of the things that has been added on to my particular one. So while we're on DSG gearboxes, obviously pull away back for drive. If you pull it again, it then goes into sport with the gearbox. If you was to flick it over to the left whilst in drive, you can then do it manual with the gear stick. So forward it goes up gear and backwards goes down gear. Also, if you flick it over that way, you're able to change it with the flappy paddles. Alternatively, if you are just in drive and you do touch the paddles, it will then just do the manual override. And it is also a 7-speed gearbox, which is brilliant for long motorway cruises. So obviously you can see this race button lit up, so when we push it, this is what it comes up with. So we have the Cupra mode, which is full track mode, the sport mode, which I said about, you can, if you can go into it, right. So then we have comfort mode, as you can see, that's it, just like long journeys. We have the sport mode, which is sort of slightly sportier but not full on balls to walls Cupra mode. And then we have individual, so you can change what you want. So you can pick and choose, oh, I want this engine, or I want sporty gearbox but like comfort engine, or whatever. If you then go and press this little I on any of the modes, let me point out, it then tells you what it's actually changing. So this is obviously in Cupra mode, so you can see everything's in Cupra mode. So it changes the air conditioning, front diff lock, the engine, the steering, and the DCC. I think that's to do with the gearbox, but I can't remember. But I know obviously it does something with the gearbox, so it might be that. Don't quote me on that. Now the sound system, I would try out, but copyright music. So thanks YouTube, if you can actually sort that would be great. But the sound system in here honestly is nuts. I mean, you can change all the settings obviously, and make it as like bespoke to you. You can even go as far as moving the sound left, right, back and forward. I'll show you now. So when you go on like things like balance fader, you can move it to the back, to the front, to the left, to the right, and then if you can't get a center, just pop it there. But you can also go like this. Now that is really fun when you're playing with music and you do this. It is quite interesting because it is instant how it does it as well. It does it literally as soon as you move it, so it is really interesting. Obviously this is all your equalizer settings. Sub focus, you have all or driver. I mean, why you would do driver, I don't know, when you can do all, but unless you have no friends, I suppose, but it is what it is. Along with that, you can do things like parking sensors. You can have it so it cuts the music or fades the music or doesn't affect the music at all. That's all options as well. There's so many like little tricks you can do with this car, which is just almost endless at times. Obviously this car comes with full LED lights inside, which are just so clean, so nice, and I love it. Everything about the interior, even all this, is just like, it's not cheap plastic. It's really nicely done and solid. I mean, obviously, like I said about this interior before, the Alcantara and that, so it's just so clean and so nice. It might be a pain to clean, some might say, but I've never had a problem, but that's because I always keep on top of it. So as long as you keep on top of it, you're never gonna have an issue. Just no sticky fingers and you'll be fine. I mean, personally, I've always had the rule of no eating in my car because I don't want to make a mess in my car, because although it's my daily driver, I do like to have a nice clean car, thank you very much. So with the wipers, they actually go down while you're driving, so it's more aerodynamic, but luckily they come up automatically into a park mode, so you can easily take them out without having to like go into the settings to lift them up, which is really nice. Well done, Seat. So despite being a hatchback, this has got plenty of storage in the boot. As you can see, I can't really open it right now, but it has so much storage. I mean, yeah, it's always nice to have loads more, but again, for what I've needed it for, I've never really needed it for much, but for everything I've needed it for, it's been pretty good. So it's another tick for that. But if you want more storage, obviously you just go and get an estate one, wouldn't you? These are probably different options on the wheels, but these have the nice 5 or 10 spoke, if you want to include in each individual one, star wheels, and it's all diamond cut, really nice looking. Probably a bit of a pain if you damage it, but then you just get it sent off to someone proper that knows how to do these. So what is different about my car? What other features has been added to mine? Some might be better, some might not be, depends on what you like. So obviously I've got the full wind deflectors all the way around. I mean, personally, I just like the look of it. Doesn't have any practicality for me because I'm not a smoker, but if you're into that, then yeah, it's good for that. But otherwise, I just think it looks more wider, more girthy, just so much nicer. Nice. So I've also got a nice aggressive Maxton design front splitter and rear diffuser pack on this car. That's an aftermarket purchase. They don't come with the cracks, by the way, because there is a couple cracks on this. Ignore that. Again, it just adds to the car. It's a bit extra. I mean, it makes it a bit lower, so just be wary of that, but it does look so nice. And the diffuser as well just looks so good. It makes the car look so much better. That too, mine does also have aftermarket exhaust pipes. I don't know if it's actually the back box or if it's just the pipes. I'm not too sure. I haven't fully looked. As you can probably tell by the stance, she is running a lot lower because she is on a full set of lowered coilovers. Yeah, the fitment is a lot cleaner. Just like, it's not stupidly low, so it's not like so bad to get over things, but it just looks so much better than stock. And luckily for this, it's not too firm a ride. It's like stiff, so it's like nice for like cornering and stuff like that, but it's not too hard for daily driving. I mean, if you want it softer if you're daily driving, then maybe don't go for this kind of setup. But if you do like a bit more of a racy and a bit more firm, that's how I like to describe it, a bit like firm, then I would definitely go for this because it just looks so mean, so aggressive, and is actually practical as well. And then we're also running the spacers on it. As you can see, the fitment is just so clean on this car. Like, it's not too sticky outy, it's not too sunk in. Look at that, it's just so clean, so nice. Also has these carbon fiber, well, probably not carbon fiber looking mud flaps, which obviously look cool and prevents a bit more like stones and crap chipping all this area, which obviously is very prone to it. So mine has a very common upgrade, which is a ram air filter and intake setup, which is so nice. It makes such a good noise. Admittedly, that was with a sensor taken off, so it did flutter a lot more, but honestly, even without that, the dumps and the noises this makes is just so insane. Now, I probably sound really freaking nerdy and weird by the fact that I've got a physical key I can actually put in the hole and twist. I haven't got a bloody keyless entry because I don't really like keyless. I like the fact I've got a manual key. Whilst I'm on the subject of being old-fashioned, I also love the fact I've got buttons and dials. I don't love all the tablets you get in the bloody electric wagons. They're a piece of crap. I mean, how you know what temperature it is? I mean, look, this is on low. I can just turn it up a couple. I know what I'm on. But it's like, with this, I can turn it left and right. I've got buttons. I just prefer the feel of it so much more than the touchscreen. But we got the little touchscreen for the important things we need, aka radios and navigation and stuff like that. Whilst we're on that, let me show you what we have. So you have obviously radio, telephone if you connect to it, media is your Bluetooth, you got vehicles, so you got more information on that. You've got your navigation, obviously, full link, which is to do with if you connect to your phone, you've got more apps on there. There's media control, traffic, sound, so you can adjust the sound. There's images for some reason, air conditioner, I don't know why it's got air conditioner on there, and then settings as well. So on the air conditioning, you get a nice funky little picture here, so you can direction where the aircon's coming through and stuff like that. So it's a bit weird, but it's a bit of a unique, cool little thing. So what if we go into vehicle? Well, we get our vehicle. So you have the start, stop information. You can, like, for some reason, you can go in there. It tells you about that. Here is also where you'd find if there's a TPMS wrong. So you can set your tire pressures. So if you used to pump them up, you set them to that. Where, for example, it'd also tell you what tire's flat if it's had a TPMS light. If you've got a faulty front light or rear light, it will tell you here, and all stuff like that. So going back to the whole old-fashioned thing, this is not so old-fashioned. I don't actually have a freaking handbrake. I love the feel of an actual handbrake. I hate auto handbrake, so mine's always off. I mean, this is kind of handy, so you can just pull away. You don't have to take it off. But for me, the more electric stuff you have, the more chance there is of it going wrong. So I do have this volume control here, and this is one thing that does annoy me about the car, is when you control it, the power button is then not straight. So that really does my head in, because I feel like I'm a little bit OCD like that. I love things to be straight. So I mean, I always do it by the hand control. I mean, it doesn't do it, obviously, if I think if the car's maybe off, I think if the ignition's on, it's fine, but if it's off, it won't control it. Even though the radio's still on, you will only be able to control it by that. All the time the car's on, you just scroll up and down like that, so it's so much easier. I prefer it. And then you can scroll through, like, this obviously works for Bluetooth as well. You can scroll through your songs and that there. This side, so if I close my door, the map in there, so if you press this little view button, you can just scroll through. You get different types of dials. This is quite interesting because it shows you how much percentage of acceleration you are using on the left. And then you've got the double dials, like the old school. And then you've got the one that's just pure map, pretty much, which is kind of nice for like longer journeys. And then this is my personal favorite. This is kind of like the standard Cupra one. But I think it just looks so clean with the digital dash. I love the look of it and the layout. And another way you can find out that this is a proper Cupra is, again, the checker flag up on the digital display, and that does stay on there for most, if not all, of the dials, so it does move around here. So sticking with the digital screen, if we scroll through here, obviously currently we've got the map in the middle. You can go to, obviously, if you had your Bluetooth connected, to say what song's playing. It says my phone that's connected. This is to do with casting things, so if you was to click on there, it would come up with different features, but obviously you've got no entries in it at the moment. So we got a lap timer, so if you're tracking it, it's good for that. It's probably hard to do when you're going around track. Range, so while we're on range, 265 miles from not far off full. So when you have the full fuel tank, that's a tongue twister and a half. It usually says around 300 miles. Obviously, that all depends on how you drive, as any. But when you're in this kind of car, you don't always, drive too carefully, because it just wants to go. Even in comfort mode, this car will just pick up and drive so nice. We have the front assist, so you can turn it on and off, because it tells you if you're getting close, and it'll beep at you, and then will also start braking for you. And then it's back to the map. Don't worry guys, my engine light isn't on, it's just because I haven't actually switched the car on yet. Helpful features to this car. Just flick it to auto, obviously, and we have the auto lights. You can manually open side lights and headlights on. Pulling it out once does the front fogs. pulling out twice does the rear fogs. Along with auto lights, we have auto wipers, so you put it down once and or is it up? No, it's up on this car. So you put it up once and that goes on to auto wipers, and then there's obviously a sensor up here which then sensed it, which kind of makes it annoying if you want to put a sun strip on it, which I did. So I was trying to think of ways around it. I never actually got around to putting one on, but there is ways around it if you do want a sun strip but don't want to affect your auto wipers. Stating the obvious, I can control 4 windows from here. I can also lock, so if there's like kids in the back, they can't do the windows because that can be rather annoying. Down here there is 2 little charging ports, which also obviously you can connect your phone via Wi-Fi, via USB as well through that, and it will charge your phone. There's also 2 charger ports in the back as well. So up front, obviously you always have, well, usually you have 4 air vents, so you know, 2 in the middle, 1 that side, 1 this side. We do also have 2 in the back as well, so people in the back get aircon. So the armrest, can I have that, can I have that, can I have that, can I have that, can I have that. Yeah, so it slides backwards and forwards and also goes up and down, so you can have it slightly up, but obviously if you put it all the way up, it's just a storage unit in there and you can put it back down. So luckily this car does actually come with a proper service manual, seeing as some cars nowadays have gone all digital. I actually prefer that I can have a physical book in front of me. They should all come with like a little Seat pouch, which then also has like owner's manuals and other bits and bobs, but hopefully other people have actually kept hold of those. And then here's your Seat navigation. Oh, I said that really weird, didn't I? Seat navigation. It's a little SD card, which mine's already in there because there's nothing actually in this box, but because mine's already in there. And that is everything you need to know about owning a Seat Leon Cupra. So if you do have any other questions, just pop them below. I'll answer what I can. And if you did like this, wall up the like button. If you want to see more of this kind of content, then bosh the subscribe button and you'll see all the different kind of car content I have. But until the next one, see you all later. Cheers for watching. Peace. It does usually come in this colour. And that oh. So I've also got the nice aggressive Maxton design aggressive